Alright, so you been informed of the home team. Yeah. Alright, back stop. Alright, back ball goes to the end of the back stop.
It was 24-3.
Thank you.
And we won the last 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't had one since 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And we are now 7-1 when we play on this group. Just true.
That was Sunday.
Sunday.
Did we play then, or did we play technically in June?
Well, everything
Everything that led to the win happened in June.
In June, it goes back to that. But I mean, physically we did play on Vicksburg. I haven't decided yet whether I am gonna.
Are you excited for Danny Jansen about to time travel? He could be the batter and the catcher in the same at bat. He was catching when that game was for the Blue Jays when the game was suspended. Yeah.
So he now.
No, excuse me. Hey, he was at bat when that game was suspended, and he could very well be the catcher for the at bat that he started when the game was suspended.
Hey, I didn't. That game Sunday, it was frustration. I mean, I have no idea why Rick did that. Except
So for league play, it's only go up to 9. Yep. And then so 10:25, last pitch 10:40, lights out 10:45. Go forward for a touch the walk.
The town's got something going on. They're doing borings out there. That's something you can take it All right, Kim, have a good one.
Oh, no, you're right, because we rescheduled the game. Yeah. And we're here as well. Yeah, so that might happen today, but it isn't the hockey game. it up, boys, bring it up. One, two, three, right! Blue Sox! Omar? Yes, sir!
And welcome back to the usual dig, center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. for another edition of Lexington Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Final interleague game of the season for the Blue Sox as they take on the East Boston Knights of the Yawkey League. The Blue Sox entering play at 18-4-1, 37 points, second in the ICL, and the Knights entering play at 7-19-1, 15 points, fifth out of sixth in the Yawkey League. Good evening, everybody. Sam Field here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. The Blue Sox assuring themselves of a home field advantage in the semifinals with the 3-2 win over the Expos last night over at Minuteman. And that was one game that was going to be played at East Boston and actually wouldn't have been streamed on this here YouTube channel were it played there. And now here's the second one that was rained out, scheduled to be at East Boston, but now being played at LHS. Blue Sox since 2006 are 24-3-3 when they are the road team at LHS and have won the last 5. And it'll be Jake McElroy to lead things off for the Blue Sox against Max Tarlin, the starter for the East Boston Knights. First pitch, 8:05 in there for strike one. McElroy in right, Anderson Jimenez at third, Dom Gabardi in left, Nick Anderson in center, A.J. Lisco at first, Charlie Walsh at short, Joe Auger the DH, Max Dushny behind the plate, Dylan Walsh at second. That is the lineup for the Blue Sox with Chris Wannett on the mound. Curveball in there for a strike. The count is 0-2 to McElroy. Last night against the Expos went 1 for 3 with a single. Final interleague game of the season for the Blue Sox. They are, to this point, 10-2 against foul ball. Reprieve there for Tarlin. I don't know, came in and may got some piece of Max equipment there, but it remains 1-2. 2-2, excuse me. Blue Sox 10-2 in interleague play this season. Flare the other way into right, and that gets down for a base hit. And yeah, it's a humid night. The grass is going to be moist, but Lexington as a whole avoided much of the downpours in the surrounding areas here today, and the field was also kind of parched lately, so just drank it all up anyway, so it's good to go. Leadoff base hit for McElroy. Here's Jimenez. Takes a strike. 0-1 to AJ. He was 1 for 3 with a triple, stolen base and a run scored last night. It's been getting hot at the right time. in the second half of the season after a struggle to start the season at the plate. Up and away, 1-1. Jimenez comes up empty there, and the count will be 1-2. Blue Sox's only losses in interleague play this season have been to TJO of the Park League and the Brighton Black Sox of the Yawkey League. Throw into center field on the attempt to catch McElroy stealing. An E2 will give McElroy the stolen base and put him at third with a 2-2 count to AJ. So McElroy picks up the steal. And Jimenez hoping to pad his batting average of .293. I'm getting a little bit of lightning there, cloud to cloud. As this is hit into the clouds in left center field, and that'll hit off a pipe behind that tarp in the left center field gap. And Jimenez has a stand-up double in to scores McElroy. It's 1-0. Here you could see the ball take a hard carom off of one of the supports underneath the tarp with the Blue Sox and other team logos out there on the outfield fence. A double for Jimenez. McElroy scores. And here is Dom Gabardi. Dom was in the 6th slot last night. He is the number 3 hitter in left field today. Was 2 for 3 last night with a double, a single, and a run scored. 2 doubles, my mistake. I had initially ruled the play where on that bloop into right field in that 3rd inning when the Blue Sox, 4th inning when the Blue Sox were trying to pad onto their lead. Single and E9, but it was in fact a double. So a couple of doubles there for Dom last night. Another one would do the Blue Sox some good here in the top of the 1st. And that'll be a swing and a miss, 1-2. Jimenez with the double, his 3rd double and 5th extra base hit of the season, and he also picks up his 4th RBI. Fouled off. Also, the Bruce let me know is Anderson's 3rd consecutive game with an extra base hit. Gabardi still behind 1-2, and just he's out. Okay. It was swung and missed. Was not foul tipped. Was not held on to by the Knights catcher Silas, but even with first base open, Gabardi just walked away. So 1 down for Nick Anderson. Outside, gets away from Silas, and to third goes Jimenez. Pass ball or wild pitch there? Yeah, I was going to say that too. So pass ball there will put Jimenez at third. Third baseman in now, even with the bag, and the pitch outside, but Silas able to corral that one. It is 2-0 to Nick Anderson. Wore the hat trick last night, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Yeah, 3 guys with the hat trick, in fact. Dan Shaw with a fine performance for the Expos, as one would expect. Kept that game as close as he could, but Blue Sox pitching clutched up when it matters most to hang on that 3-2 win. And he'll be outside in a 4-pitch walk to Nick Anderson. Try to swing the pendulum the other way after that hat trick last night. Here's A.J. Lisco. Austin Travis, Justin Bosland, and Nick Anderson all going 0 for 3 with 3 Ks at the hands of Dan Shaw last night, although it was an eventual 3-2 Blue Sox win. Here's Lisco. AJ just playing his 9th game of the season, first since July 9th. Anderson going, and not even a throw from Silas. It is 0-1 to Lisco. Anderson with the steal. Continuing an MVP caliber season as another one. Missing outside to a left-handed batter, but Silas able to knock that one down. It is 1-1 to Lisco with Jimenez at third and Anderson at second. Read the top line. It is 1-2. Lisco, 125, 176, 125 is slash line with 2 RBIs and 1 walk in 9 games so far, 8 games so far. Behind 1 and 2. So I was able to keep tabs on that one, and Tarlin coming in to make sure that Jimenez doesn't try anything. So 2-2 now to Lisco with Charlie Walsh due up next. Blue Sox already with a run on 2 hits and a walk and a couple of steals and looking for more. 2-2. Swing and a miss at a pitch up and away. 2 strikeouts now in the inning for Tarlin, and a chance to get out of this without giving up a crooked number. Here's Charlie Walsh. Charlie playing in his 16th game, 278, 349, 306 is his slash line. Hits that one off the end of the bat, foul the other way. Strike 1. Was 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI last night against the Expos. Broken 0 for 7 with that performance. 1-1 is a count to Charlie. Also had a steal in the game last night. Grounder, it took a hard ricochet off of Tarlin right to the shortstop, and he can't make the play. And Walsh reaches safely. Jimenez scores. It's 2-0. And obviously, going to have time here to see if Tarlin is good to continue. He just immediately waves off his coach. Love it. Got to give that a base hit, right? Yeah. So a base hit for Charlie and an RBI brings home Jimenez. 2-0 our score. And now runners at the corners. Here is Joe Auger. Oh, 0-1 is the count to Joe in the DH slot tonight. Remember, the interleague game, no extra hitter allowed, just the 9-man lineup. Outside for ball, 1-1. Auger playing in his 11th game. His slash line is 200, 429, 500. Runner goes, pitch is on the outside edge for a strike, uncontested. Steal there for Walsh. 1-2 is the count, but now 2 more runners in scoring position. And that is in there for strike three. Called. The inning is over. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Tarleton, but the Blue Sox pick up 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2. Half an inning of the books. Blue Sox 2, and the Knights coming up. And this will be the Knights starting lineup. We already gave you the Blue Sox. Ivanson Batista will lead it off at short. Elijah Perez in center. Emmanuel Ramos at first. Raymond Rojas at third. Tim Carter in right. Garrett Wallace is the DH. Andrew Hiciano is the DH, left fielder rather. Quinn Kilroy at second, and Omar Silas behind the plate. As the Blue Sox take the field for the bottom of the first, Chris Wannett will get the start. Wannett 3-1-1 with a 1.28 ERA in 27 1/3 innings, has allowed 18 hits, 5 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 23. Pitched 3 innings against the Base in the 20-0 drubbing of that Yawkey League opponent on July 25th. Didn't get the win because even in a 5-inning game, you still have to go 4 for the win. Went 3 innings, allowed 3 hits and no runs while striking out 1. Started out the season 0-1-1, went the first 5 in that scoreless tie against the Expos in the Blue Sox first game of the season, allowing 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and striking out 4. Took the loss against TJO, going 4 1/3 with 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts, but hasn't lost since then and hasn't given up an earned run in his or a run period in his last 11 innings of work across 3 appearances against Malden, the Boston Padres, and the Base. Against the Andre Chiefs on June 20th, that 1-0 loss to the Chiefs. 3 innings, 3 hits, and again, just that 1 run. Didn't take the L in that game. Somehow. Oh, wait, excuse me. I got that out of the order. My mistake. That was actually the suspended game. Whee! I'm all right. So far ahead of my time, my parents haven't met yet. Grounder to second, 1 down. Yeah, is that a June game or a July game? I don't know. It's a June game, I know. Which we finish in July. Hey, who's ready to see Back to the Future starring Danny Jansen later this month, right? So Batista grounds out, 1 down, and here is Elijah Perez, the center fielder for the Knights. As a ball, 1-0 is the count. To Perez, who enters play, slashing .237, .362, .421 with 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer, 10 ribbies. Also 4-4 in steals, swings and misses for strike 1 to even the count. Another grounder to second. Oh, nice reach at the end with that funny turn to the glove side of the second baseman, Dylan Walsh, but able to make the play. It's an unfortunate thing when you got, righty against righty there, and you're still breaking the bats. Not only is Mariano Rivera, coming in to, do some lumber work. 1-0 is the count to Emmanuel Ramos, the first baseman for the Knights, who fouls this one off, and the count is 1-1. Ramos just playing his 3rd game for the Knights. He is 2 for 6 with 2 ribbies. Down low. 2-1. Ground to the left side, and that'll get past the diving shortstop Walsh for a base hit to keep the inning alive. So Ramos now 3 for 7 in his Knights tenure. Inning continues for the third baseman, Raymond Rojas, entering play, slashing .273, .455, .455. 3 doubles, 1 homer, 10 ribbies, 10 walks, 11 strikeouts. It's down and away for ball 1. Ramos, also 2 for 2 in steals this season. So maybe a threat there. As the Knights try to start a little 2-out, nobody on rally to take that goose egg off the scoreboard early. And Rojas in a good spot right now at 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. But anyone who wants to run on the Blue Sox, well, Dushney and Travis have been tracking down thieves all year long. And from 2-0 to 2-2. Carter due up next if we get that far. Wanted to come back from 2-0 to 2-2. Putting batters away with 2 strikes was a little bit of a issue for the Blue Sox last night. Has been an issue at times throughout the season, and now a hit by pitch puts the tying run at first. Case in point. So first and second, 2 down for the right fielder, Tim Carter. Carter, .333, .481, .429 is slash line with 2 doubles, no homers, 7 ribbies, 6 walks in 11 games. Fouls this one off for strike 1. Pushing right back over towards the first baseline, but Watt's going to give it to the umpire anyway just to we'll see if that ball's still good to go or if it's going to go into the batting practice bucket. And we'll hang on to it. So 0-1 the count to Carter after the first 2 were retired on broken bat ground balls to second. Foul tip, back pick attempt, knocked down at first, and holding on to this one is Lisco. So that will allow Ramos to get to third, but it is 0-2 to Carter. How do we score that, Bruce? How the runner gets to third? Okay, so no error. All right. Popped up, left side, round shortstop drifting into the outfield. Charlie's got it. And that puts an end to that Knight's threat. And leave 2 after 1 hit and 1 walk. And no runs after 1, 2-0, Blue Sox. We go to the top of the second, and already some defensive changes for the Knights. Omar Silas has gone from catcher to right. Tim Carter has gone from right to first, and Emmanuel Ramos is now behind the plate. From what we understand, Silas was dealing with some arm fatigue, and that prompted the rotation. No new players in the batting order for the Knights as we resume play, top of the second, and a swing and a miss by Max Dushny for strike one. Blue Sox leading 2-0, picking up 3 hits in the top of the first. Since 2006, they are 24-3-3 when they are the road team at LHS. And the debate over whether the win on Sunday and the completion of the suspended game against the Chiefs is important for another Blue Sox statistic, because if we count that game, the one that was scheduled for June 20th, suspended and fish on Sunday, if we count that game as happening on Sunday, then the Blue Sox since 2006 are 7-1, you said, Bruce? 7-1 on Rick's birthday? Fly ball into right. Now you go into a new position. The ball finds you immediately, and able to haul that one in is your brand new right fielder, Omar Silas. 1 down. Leadoff man retired. No rest of the weary, huh? Especially after the specific reason that prompted that shuffle. So Dushy is retired for Dylan Walsh, the second baseman. Up and away for ball one. Yep. Thank you. Up and in, and the count will be 2-0 to Dylan, who has also been turning it on lately at the plate. Up to a .382 batting average now, a .1033 OPS. We have an official broadcast. That makes its way over towards Worthen Road. Count is 2-1 to Dylan. He'll be followed by Jake McElroy, if anyone gets on, Anderson Jimenez. The game is scheduled for Wednesday against Melrose. Makeup scheduled for Sunday night at 7:30. That game could end up being moot, depending on the result of this one. Because if the Blue Sox win this one, they will clinch the top seed in the ICL postseason. Walsh reaches on a 5-pitch walk. Second walk of the game issued by Tarlin. Lineup turns over for Jake McElroy. Led off this ball game with a single, and then eventually came around to score on Jimenez's double. Walsh might be a candidate to run here too if the Blue Sox are thinking about it. Does get a little bit of a secondary lead there, but doesn't go, and it's swung on and missed by McElroy for strike one. For what it's worth, despite having decent speed, Dylan, I always talk about him being a candidate to steal. He hasn't actually attempted a stolen base in the regular season in his Blue Sox career. It's a little shocking for an infielder with good bat to ball skills. You generally expect guys like that to run quite a bit too, but not always the case. I think Luis Arraez probably the best pure contact hitter of best pure contact hitter we've seen since Ichiro. Pop up over towards first base. That's caught for out number 2. He'll be at the top of a batting order just because he can get on base that easily. He's not exactly Ichiro with the wheels. Pop up by McElroy makes it 2 down with a runner at first for Jimenez. 2 outs, trying to catch the defense napping and talk about the ball finding you. All 3 outs made by those players in their new position in the top half of that inning. Silas in right, Carter at first, and then Ramos with a sliding catch behind the plate to end the inning. No runs, no hits. 1 left, buck and a half in the books, 2-0, Blue Sox.
Yes, the renovation is House and Water. I wondered. Yes, thank you. I literally am not kidding you. I flowers. I'm like, yeah. Oh my god, I love all of this right here.
Garrett, Drew, Quinn, oh, top.
Bond the second, and it will be Wallace, Isiano, and Kilroy due up for the Knights. Strike 1 in there from Wanted. Swing and a miss by Wallace, the designated hitter, and it is 0-2. Wallace takes outside, ball 1, and seems as though Chris amping up the fastball a little bit here in the second inning. Wallace entering play, slashing 273, 385, 394, and has worked it even, 2-2. 2 doubles, 1 triple, no home runs, and 4 ribbies in 33 at-bats in 14 games. Swings and pops this one up into shallow right center field, and Anderson calls off Walsh as well as the right fielder McElroy to make the catch. Out number 1. Here's Andrew Hisiano, left fielder for the Knights. Swings at the first pitch, grounds it the other way, and knocked down, but it'll be a base hit anyways for Hisiano. Good effort by Charlie, but still rolling deep into the hole. At that point, no chance you're going to get him there, so he's going to up his batting average of 267 after that one. Now 9 for 31 the season is Andrew. So the second hit of the ball game for the Knights puts a runner at first, brings the tying run to the plate, and the person, the second baseman, Quinn Kilroy, who takes ball 1 in the dirt. Kilroy through 23 games, slashing 102, 274, 122. Even in the count now, 1-1. swing and a miss. And Kilroy behind. 1-2. That is up and away. And the count will be 2-2. Kilroy on the season has 5 hits, and 4 of them have come against ICL opponents. 2 against the Bulldogs, 1 against the Americans, and 1 against the Sabres. 3-2 is the count to Kilroy. Well, we'll make it 5 of 6. Come to the ICL then, Quinn. Well, first and second again for the Knights. The number 9 hitter, who started this game, the catcher now, the right fielder, Omar Silas, with a chance to break through for the visitors, the host/visitors from East Boston. Okay, this is a Knights home game that was originally scheduled to be played at East Boston Stadium. Going to try and bunt here, and it's a strike, and the count is 0-1. Wow, though, 5 of your 6 hits for Kilroy in now 24 games have come against ICL opponents. Against the Yawkey League and the Park League, 4 hits combined, 1 hit. Oh, 0-2 is the count to Silas. That is high for ball 1. That's on the outside corner for strike 3 called. Silas is now 2 of 35 for the season. And 2 down now as the lineup turns over for Ivanson Batista. First strikeout of the night for Wanted. Batista entering play, slashing 284, 436, 311. Grounded out to second his first time up. Fouls that one off for strike 1. Well, he and the man on deck, Perez, began this game with the bottom of the first with broken back grounders to second. Looking for something a little more impactful here is the Knights leadoff man. That is in there for strike 2 called. 0-2 with Hisiano at second and Kilroy at first. Wannet comes set, and the pitch just outside for ball 1. 1-2. And Perez due up next, and also there's action in the Knights bullpen. Fouled off the other way. That hits the dirt. Oh, it didn't just hit the dirt. It hit Batista. So he will get on, and that will load the bases for Perez. Puts the force at any base, but loads the bases here. I'm not sure if you would like to have Batista with 2 runners in scoring position and a 2-2 count, but Perez comes up empty. 237 entering play tonight, but Perez is also in a 4-way tie for the team lead in RBIs at 10. 2 guys who are not in the starting lineup, Banks and Rodriguez, and then Raymond Rojas, who right now is in the hole. Ramos due up next. But again, putting guys away with 2 strikes has been a challenge for the Blue Sox. That only gets magnified more and more as you get closer to the postseason. Here's a grounder to short, and everybody's safe. Walsh tried to field it in the hole and maybe go to third for a force. Not sure he was ever going to get an out at second or first. Infield single, run scores. Perez gets his 11th ribby of the season. Hiciano scores. The tying run now 90 feet away in the go-ahead run in scoring position for the Knights. With Ramos coming to the plate, who already has a hit tonight. Now with a chance to tie this game or give the Knights the lead. Read the second line, folks. It is 0-1 to Ramos. Three singles and a hit batsman in this inning. And it's now 1-1 to Ramos. Kilroy at third. Batista at second. Perez at first. Down the line in the left, but way too far out in front of it, and it'll be a foul ball for strike 2. Right size, wrong shape. One and two, the count to Ramos. Rojas due up next. Another man with 10 ribbies on the season. He can pass the baton to him. 2-2. Want it. Some heavy workload early. 16 pitches in the first. Two and two the count to Ramos. Nobody right now warming behind Want it. Line up the middle, and that'll get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. The stop sign put up on Batista. The errant throw picked up by Want it. So Kilroy scores, and everyone else moves station to station. RBI single for Ramos. He's already 2 for 2. Back to where we started, Ryan O'Rourke going out to the mound to have a chat with Want it and Dushney. And now the alarm bells sound of the Blue Sox bullpen. Now remember that the Blue Sox, with a win tonight, will clinch the #1 seed in the ICL playoffs. A tie or a loss doesn't mean the Chiefs get it, but the Blue Sox will obviously like to leave nothing to chance on Sunday against the Americans. Just need 2 points somehow out of these last 2 games. We'd like to get it done tonight again. But tough spot right now for Want it. Bases loaded. 2 down, already 2 runs home. Another broken back grounder to second, and that will put an end to the inning. But the Knights tie the game on 2 runs and 4 hits. They leave the bases loaded. We're through 2, tied at 2. Top of the third, tied at 2 in the heart of the order, due up for the Blue Sox, starting with the left fielder, Dom Gabardi. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off for strike one. Dom struck out swinging his first time up, and despite the action in the bullpen earlier for the Knights, is still Max Tarlin out there for East Boston as we get the top of the third underway. One and one is the count to Gabardi. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left for the Blue Sox. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 5 left for the Knights. Already a game filled with a lot of what could have beens for both offenses. 1 and 2 is the count to Gabardi. Will be followed by Anderson and Lisco if anyone gets on. Charlie Walsh. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Gabardi now 0 for 2. 4th strikeout for Tarlin. And here is Nick Anderson. A walk and a steal his last time up. Swings at the first pitch, off the end of the bat in the left center field gap. That'll get all the way to the fence. Anderson's on his way to second. He might take a turn to third after a mishandle along the fence. Here's the relay to third. Pulls the third baseman off the bag, but able to keep the ball in play. A triple for Nick Anderson. Fifth triple, I believe. Yeah. I wonder what the franchise record is since 2006. By Anderson or also by someone else is the question. All right. Well, he's been setting a lot of, high water marks for Blue Sox players this year. What a find, Nick Anderson. So go ahead, run 90 feet away for Lisco. Take strike 1. Lisco struck out swinging his first time up. As Lisco's first game since July 9th. And now he's behind 0-2. Blue Sox, their second extra base hit of the night, thanks to Anderson's triple just now. I mean, going the other way in a left center field and still being able to get that triple with the obviously third base being closer to that gap than the right center field gap. He's got wheels. 1-2 is the count to Lisco. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 down. Well, last night the Blue Sox had 3 players go 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Already they have 2 players now 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. And Charlie Walsh hoping to cash in here with 2 down like he did in the first with an RBI single that brought home Jimenez. Tarlin winds and delivers. Charlie takes a strike, 0-1. Faking the back pick attempt was the catcher Ramos. Ended up hanging on to it. 0-1 is the count to Charlie. Tarlin winds and delivers again. Fouled off, 0-2. Is Tarlin going to do another match? Ooh, might need a magic disappearing act on whatever window that hit, but is Tarlin going to get out of Dodge once again? Winds and delivers the 0-2. Grounder to the right side. Bobbled at second. On to first. Not in time. The throw is offline. Anderson scores. Make sure he steps on the bag. And the Blue Sox reclaim the lead 3-2. He bobbled it initially. Yeah, he bobbled it initially. Error. E4. So no RBI. But Walsh did not advance further than first. So the Blue Sox reclaim the lead at 3-2. The error there at second base, the bobble, and the emergency throw. Not in time. Plus Charlie sliding into first head first. Auger is ahead in the count 1-0. Struck out looking his first time. 3-2 already here in the top of the third. Walsh goes, pitches a strike, and issue on the transfer there will allow Charlie to get to second. 1-1 is the count. Cutter in there for a strike, 1-2 to Auger. Excuse me, swing results in a foul ball. Oh, of course that was a Mike Hart 2015 stat. 5 triples tying Mike Hart's video game numbers in his MVP 2015 season. 5 triples. Here's a ball into left center field, and that is gonna get down. Into score is Walsh. Auger into second with a double. Conference at the mound forthcoming here for the Knights. That error at second has led to 2 runs for the Blue Sox, giving them the lead back. I don't put that one on you. I put it on just the poor design of the controller. Can't blame Chris. He's working TBT this weekend. I have this whole career and I still don't know what I'm doing. Do any of us know what we're doing honestly in life, Bruce? Wishful thinking that we were, though. Dush fouls that one off, 0-1. Dush with a fly out to right, his first time up. So Auger cashes in with the RBI double after the error allowed Walsh to reach and Anderson to score. And for Auger, that is his second extra base hit out of now 3 hits on the season. His 2 hit, he had the other extra base hit being a home run against the base. 0-2 the count to Dush. Dush takes up and away, 1-2. So Auger getting his batting average up down to 3 for 12, 250. And we'll put his slugging percentage at whatever 7 out of 12 is. Math is hard. Thank you. Over 500, obviously. Scooped up at third. Come back tomorrow night. We're going to do fractions. Oh, wait, those were fractions. 4-2 Blue Sox after 2.5.
Yep.
No, me quick. Garrett threw. Garrett threw. Final answer. Final answer.
44. Good answer in the
Yeah, no, let me know the score.
We go to the bottom of the third. Blue Sox reclaiming the lead with 2 unearned runs on 2 hits and 1 error and 1 left. First pitch at the bottom of the third is fouled off for strike 1. 1 it back out there. To face Carter, Wallace, and Hiciano. Fouled off by Carter. He's behind 0-2. Popped up to short his first time up. Grounder, nice stab at third by Jimenez. Scoop, no, that goes out of play. A fine scoop on a tough backhand. That smash down the line by Jimenez, but the throw offline puts Carter in scoring position. think with an accurate throw, he would have had him. So that's going to be a no single, just a two-base E5. So Carter in scoring position, and that brings up Grant Wallace, the DH, who flew out to center his first time up in the second. And Wallace takes strike one. Wallace going to try and bunt. Now it's popped foul out of play ball all the way behind us, a long way behind us. For a bunt, certainly. And the count will be 0-2 to Wallace. Ciciano due up next. A little use of the mound as a ramp there, and everybody's going to be safe. Well, the tying run at first now for the Knights. Back and forth we go, it seems. Infield single for Wallace. Puts runners at the corners. Nobody out for Hiciano, who takes low for ball one. Wallace doesn't make a break for it. It is 1-0, and not just the first time the Knights have gotten the leadoff man on tonight. They've gotten the first two on and trying to cash in a big way. Fouled into the screen, and the count will be 1-1. Of course, with the camera parked right behind home plate, foul balls this way give a whole new definition of a ball fouled into the screen. Slide step, funny hop off the mound, grounder to short, it's bobbled. They will still get the force at second. Carter scores with the drop at short by Charlie. Prevented them from maybe getting a double play. They might have had it if he'd fielded that jump cleanly off the mound. So Carter scores. Wallace is retired 6-4. Hiciano reaches on the fielder's choice. It's 4-3. Runner at first. And now here's Kilroy, who, again, has only one hit this season. All but one of his hits this season coming against the Inter-City League, including the single last inning, and then eventually coming around to score the tying run, the then tying run. Even the count 1-1. 2-1. Not guys you want to dance around with. All things considered, if you are want it, or the Blue Sox pitching staff, gotta attack these guys. Remember, a win for the Blue Sox tonight locks up the #1 seed in the ICL playoffs and gives you a chance to rest as many of your guys as you can Sunday against the Americans. Grounder to third, Jimenez to second for one, on to first, and that ball goes out of play. So 2 down on the second error of the inning. Hiciano retired, but now Kilroy in scoring position. Fielder's choice, E4. And here is Silas. Struck out looking his first time up. Kilroy now 1 for 2. Grounder, foul. Couple more inches to the right, and we've got a tie ball game. Is that another broken bat? Wow. Another one? 4 broken bats now. And again, this isn't, you know, a Mariano Rivera cutter coming in on lefties or anything like that. It's just... Batista's was to the right side, though, and he's... Oh. Well, a hit by pitch, second of the game for the Knights, turns over the lineup. Third hit by pitch, rather. Thank you. 1 in each inning. Something definitely is off. Certainly feels that way with Wannett. Turns over the lineup for Batista. Yeah, that first broken bat on that grounder to second in the bottom of the first. Up and away for ball 1. And time granted. Dush going out to have a word with Wannett. We got umpire was telling Rick something about one of the Knights hit batsmen. I don't know if he's talking to Mark about needing some help with something, but he was hurt or whatever. Oof. Yeah, great spot indeed, but called a ball, and it is 2-0. I have to figure this is one. It's either last inning or just last batter. No advance by the runners, but it is 3-0. I believe it's that's Luke, isn't it? Warming. All right, Luke Deschanel warming right now for the Blue Sox. In danger of loading the bases for Elijah Perez. 3-0 upcoming to Ivanson Batista. Wannett comes set. Here it comes. There's a strike. 3-1. First pitch of this game at 8:05. We're not yet through 3, and we're already past the hour mark. Into center field, Anderson tracks it down. And exhale. Blue Sox preserve the lead. The Knights get a run closer with 1 run on 2 errors and 1 hit with 2 left. We're through 3. 4-3 Blue Sox.
Rick.
After the ball hit the
I'll let you know when I do right.
What's the new picture?
Hey, who's the new pitcher?
Brian Jesus. Oh, you go.
Brian DeJesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
New pitcher for the East Boston Knights is right-hander Brian DeJesus, making his 5th appearance of the season. 1-1 with a 5.11 ERA in 12 1/3 innings. He has allowed 9 hits, 11 runs, 9 of which are earned, walked 7, and struck out 15. Surrendered 1 home run, hit 3 batters, and thrown 4 wild pitches. All 4 of those wild pitches came against the Al Thomas Athletics on May 30th. He has only faced 1 ICL opponent, and that was the Middlesex Expos on July 10th. Went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, walking 1 and striking out 2. So DeJesus is the new noodle for the Knights after 3 innings from Max Tarlin. Tarlin right now on the hook for the loss unless the Knights can equalize later this game. And DeJesus will be greeted by Walsh, McElroy, and Jimenez. After the hit by pitch, by the way, that conversation we saw earlier was about Max Dushny getting hit in the throat with one of the, I guess, baseball there, and hope he's all right. Good enough to finish the inning. He's a hockey player. So Walsh walked his first time up. Blue Sox have only gotten the leadoff man on in the first inning. There's only been 1 inning where the Knights have gotten the leadoff man on, and that was the 3rd just now. Top of the 4th, DeJesus rocks and delivers. Fastball low for ball 1. One and one. DeJesus last year for the Knights went 1-4 in 32 2/3 innings with a 3 ERA, 27 hits, 26 runs allowed though, and only 14 of which were earned. That bounces to the plate, and the count will be 2-1. 19 walks to 47 strikeouts though. 47 strikeouts were tied for second in the Yawkey League last year with Paul Wydom of the Al Thomas Athletics, whom we saw here on this here YouTube channel earlier this season. But behind Devin Perlman, also of the A's. Able to hold up, but an appeal. Oh! Wow, okay. Walsh down on strikes. One down. Lamp turns over for McElroy. I don't know, man. Way behind that fastball there is McElroy. 0-1. McElroy singled and scored in the first, then popped up to first in the second. 1 for 2. One and one. It's high for a ball. 2-1. 4 runs now on 5 hits. 2 errors and 4 left for the Blue Sox. Runs inside, 3-1. Into left field, a lot of room there. Rolling all the way to the fence. McElroy on his way to second and will get there standing with a double. Left fielder Hisiano was way off the line there and bought a little extra space for the ball to roll and allow McElroy to get into scoring position. So here's Jimenez. RBI double and a run scored in the first and a pop-up to the catcher in the second. He's 1 for 2. Way out in front of that one. 0-1 is the count to Jimenez. Spin back to second, but McElroy scampers back there. Just up and in. The count will be 1-1. Bounces at the plate, pitch outside, then goes back towards the third base side. And that allows McElroy to get 90 feet closer. Wild pitch. And that'll draw the third baseman. We'll draw the rest of the infielder, other corner infielder, and the first baseman coming in on the lip of the grass. A runner at third and less than 2 down. Jimenez takes a strike. 2-2 is the count to Jimenez with Gabarty due up next. Oh, beautiful sweeper there. Jimenez goes down. Second strikeout of the inning for DeJesus. Up to Gabarty to try and cash in. McElroy at third with 2 down, and that is high for ball 1. Gabarty 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, but those were both against the starter, Max Tarlin. See if he fares any better against DeJesus. Fouls this one off. 1-1 is the count. Two and one. And as true as it is that a pitcher's numbers get worse each successive time through the lineup, sometimes changing a pitching change can be beneficial to a hitter if you just starting out facing a guy you just cannot hit, but someone comes in that you can see a lot better and can change your fortunes. Like this right here. That drops in front of the left fielder for a base hit, and McElroy could just trot home on the RBI single by Gabarty. 5-3. Blue Sox cash in with 2 unearned runs last inning to reclaim the lead. And cash in with another 2-out run here, though this one is earned. And a chance for more maybe with Nick Anderson coming to the plate. He tripled his last time and then came home on the error that kept the top of the third alive. Otherwise would have been the third out. Instead, Walsh reached, Anderson scored on that play, and then Walsh eventually came around to score on Auger's double. So the Blue Sox picking up 1 more run so far on 2 hits in this inning, leading 5-3 in the top of the 4th. Grounder to the left side, fielded third, on to first in time for the out. That retires the side. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. Halfway home, 5-3 Blue Sox. So Chris Wannett is going to get another no decision. I'm going to get a no decision here, but a no decision for a Blue Sox starter as of late. He exits after 3 innings to make way for Luke Deschanel. Luke is making his 3rd appearance of the season. No wins, losses, or ties. 1 save, and has not allowed a run in an inning in 2/3 of work, striking out 3. Hasn't even allowed a hit or a walk. This is his 3rd appearance, but his 1st since July 11th. On July 2nd against the Malden Mad Dogs, win an inning. Didn't allow a hit, walk, or run, struck out 2. And got the save against the EI Braves on July 11th over at Cleveland Circle. Going last 2/3 and striking out 1. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, and that'll be strike 1 to Elijah Perez. Perez 1 for 2 with an RBI single his last time up. Up and away for ball 1. 1-1 to Perez. It's Perez, Ramos, and Rojas due up in the bottom of the 4th for the East Boston Knights. If anyone gets on, Carter. 1-2 is the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. One up, one down. Wanted only getting one strikeout in his 3 innings of work. Deschanel matching him with his first batter. Here's Ramos, 2 for 2 with 2 singles, including a ribby on his last base hit. 0-1 is a count. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Infield playing back, outfield straight away here, and that is down and away for ball 1. Playoff seeds 3, 4, and 5 are locked in the intercity leagues. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. The wild card game will be Monday night. Time and venue to be determined, but it will be the Stoneham Sabres visiting the Middlesex Expos. Little narrative there as the teams merged for a couple of years and then split again before this season. 0-1 is the count to Raymond Rojas, who is 0 for 1, hit by a pitch in the first and ground out to second in the second. 1-1. Melrose Americans are locked into the 3 seed. The winner of the Expos game, Expos Sabres game, and again, it's just a 1-game playoff, will face the top seed, whether that ends up being the Chiefs or the Blue Sox in the semifinals. And the other team of those two will face the Americans in the other semifinals. Now, last check, I believe it was going to be best of 3 for the semis and best of 5 for the championship series, but we may do best of 5 for the semis as well, and we will let you folks know as soon as we know. Not sure if we'll know tonight, though. Full count to Rojas with Carter due up next. Deschanel delivers, hit in the gap into left center field, and that'll get down all the way to the wall. Rojas on his way to second. He'll get there standing with a 2-out double. So Deschanel allowing his first hit of his season, and Carter coming to the plate with a 2-out RBI opportunity. Rojas now 1 for 2 on the night with that double. Carter 0 for 2, popped up to short in the first, reach on error and scored in the third, and he takes strike 1. 0-1. Grounder to the right side. Oh, that side of the infield has been brutal tonight for both teams. A bloodbath of a hop gets over Dylan Walsh and into right field, and Rojas scores at his 5-4. Can't have nothing tonight. Absolutely brutalized on that hop was Dylan Walsh on an otherwise routine grounder to second. He's made harder plays tonight, but that one can't really fault on him. Just the wickedest of hops, kid. 0-1 is the count to Wallace. 1 for 2 with a fly out to center and a single. Swing and a miss, 0-2. the Blue Sox. Unable to really pull away just yet from the Knights. Again, aside from TJO and the Brighton Black Sox, they've run roughshod over most of their interleague competition. But good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Garrett Wallace. Luke Deschanel strikes out the side, but does allow 1 run on 2 hits. And the Knights leave 1 to make it 5-4 after 4. So as DeJesus returns to the mound for the top of the 5th, we have a pinch hitter for A.J. Lisco, and it's going to be Brian Acosta. Acosta takes down and away for ball 1, 1-0. Acosta playing in just his 3rd game of the season. 0 for 1 at the plate, and an inning and just a third of an inning of work on the mound, allowing 1 hit and 4 runs with 3 walks and 1 strikeout. That is high for a ball. Last year, Acosta slashed 211, 268, 237 in 20 games and 38 at-bats with 1 double and 5 ribbies. And a 4-pitch walk for Acosta. Leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time now in 5 innings for the Blue Sox. And here is Charlie Walsh. RBI single in the 1st. Reach on error and scored in the 3rd. And that error, as that was low for ball 1, that error by the Knights second baseman Kilroy is actually the difference right now, because Anderson came around to score on that play, and then 1 batter later, Joe Auger doubles home Charlie Walsh to make it 4-2. Bunt is down. Acosta going to 3rd, and that ball is going to get out of play. Quite literally a comedy of errors tonight. It is 6-4. Walsh gets the sack anyways. No ribby. The run scores on the error. Because even if McElroy scores that run in the fourth, those 2 unearned runs are the difference between just before that play, this game being 4-3 Knights and it being 5-4 Blue Sox. But now it is 6-4 Blue Sox. Got 1 out, bases empty. The sack by Walsh, no Ribby, but Acosta scores after the 4-pitch walk. And here is Joe Auger. RBI double his last time up. Pops this one up sky high behind second. And all the way into center field, but eventually finally tracked down for out number 2. Perez bailing out Kilroy there. It is not as foggy tonight as it has been in other games here at LHS this season, but lucky for Kilroy, Perez did see that one coming towards him. Otherwise, neither of them see it. Auger's on first at the very least. It is 1-0 to Dush, looking for his first base hit of the ball game. 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a ground out to third. He fouls that one off, and it is 1-1. Staying in the game after Snelly taking a stray baseball ricochet into the throat and now into the small of his back. Look, when you're a catcher, you take plenty of punishment behind the plate. At the plate, yeah, I hope for a little bit of a reprieve. No such luck tonight in either direction for Dush, but he is aboard to keep the line moving. And here's Dylan Walsh. Walk and a strikeout to his credit so far. Dush getting his lead off of first. Don't let it swell up. Foul ball, strike 1. Look to get him closer to the left shoulder, so better there than his anywhere for his throwing arm. 0-1 is the count to Walsh. Blue Sox extending the lead back up to 2 here. One and one. Brian Acosta pinch hitting for A.J. Lisco. Draws a 4-pitch walk. And then running with the pitch, Walsh lays down a sacrifice. Sacrifice successful, but the attempt to get Acosta at third goes into foul territory, then out of play to bring him home and extend this lead. So no hits in the inning, an error and a run. And a 1-2 count to Dylan Walsh with Jake McElroy due up next. DeJesus comes set, and the pitch, breaking ball, flared into left center field, and Perez will not get to it in time. Being waved around third is Dushney. Here comes the relay, and they got him by a mile. Well, let's hope, if you're a Blue Sox fan, that does not come back to bite them. But, you know, with 2 down, obviously you don't want to – you got McElroy coming up, but, well, hey, worst case scenario, when you get your next turn at bat, McElroy, your leadoff man, is leading off the inning. But we'll see if that 1 run this inning will stand this time, or if the Knights are going to claw back into this one. 4.5 in the book, 6-4. Bottom of the fifth. Hiciano, Kilroy, and Silas, the bottom three in the Knights batting order, and Nate Hartley is the new noodle for the Blue Sox. First pitch, swing flared into shallow left and tracked down. Charlie Walsh. One pitch, one out. Hiciano's now 1 for 3. 1 for 3. Here's Kilroy. Certainly fancies the Intercity League competition with the base hit in his first at-bat, all but one of his hits this season against ICL teams. Behind 0-1, though. So 3 innings from Wannett, 1 from Deschanel, and now Hartley ahead of Kilroy 0-2. Fouled off, will do it again. Hartley making his 7th appearance of the season. No wins, losses, or ties, 2 saves, and a .7 ERA. 1-2 is the count. In 10 innings of work, Hartley has allowed 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which is earned, walked 5, and struck out 14. Oh, could have been 15 there, but instead it is 2-2. Last pitched on Monday against the Lexington Bulldogs. Got the save in 2 innings of work, allowing 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 2 Ks. 3-2. Hartley's longest outing of the season was 2 1/3 against the EI Braves on July 11th, allowing 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 3 Ks. 3-2, here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 up, 2 down now. And it'll be up to Silas to try and keep the line moving for the Knights. Silas, 0 for 1. Strikeout looking in the second and a hit by pitch in the third. That's in there for strike 1. In the top of the 6th, the Blue Sox will have 1, 2, and 3 due up. Top third of the order. McElroy, Jimenez, and Gabardi. A swing and a miss for strike 2. By the way, one defensive change for the Blue Sox. You saw Brian Acosta pinch hit for A.J. Lisco and then score, and it's now Andrew Salima in the game defensively at first base. One and 2 is the count to Silas. Batista due up next. He can keep the line moving. Settling back in. And Hartley ready to wind and deliver the 1-2. Fouled off. Hartley pitched in 6 games for the Blue Sox last season. 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 7 Ks. A swing and a miss and a pitch that bounces, goes to the backstop, and Silas is going to reach. A strikeout and a wild pitch keep the inning alive for the Knights. And the lineup turns over for Batista. 0 for 2. A ground out to second the first, hit by a pitch in the second, and a fly out to center in the third. And Batista representing the tying run. One and 0 is the count. Hartley looking at first, comes home with it. Breaking ball in there for strike, 1-1. 4 of Hartley's 6 appearances, now 5 of 7, have been against interleague opponents. Fouled off. Count is 1-2. One and two the count. Hartley looking at second, looking home, comes home. High with the fastball, 2-2. Feel like if anything is going to be the Blue Sox undoing in the postseason, it's the difficulty that pitchers have had putting batters away with 2 strikes. Scoop by Jimenez. Did Salima have it? He's safe. What is what? That Salima basically went down and scooped up the ball in his glove. It looked like he had his foot on his back and then stepped off afterward. The umpire was looking for control of the ball and the foot on the bag, but it looked like he didn't have, in the umpire's view, he did not. And now the umpires are going to converse, and home plate umpire talking here as if he might have seen something different. Does not look that way. And I don't know, whatever explanation they have is going to be satisfactory to the Blue Sox. I mean, if nothing else, you keep the ball in play and don't make it 2 runners in scoring position. But you do have the tying run at first now as Batista reaches. Look out! Bat coming towards the turtle there. Look, no pun. Or maybe he is. Wow. At that part, I don't know how good. If you yeet your bat that far, I don't know how much good pine tar is going to do you. You're going to need Gorilla Glue at that point. Wow. I mean, obviously, it's a safety hazard for the fans, but keep the ball between the lines. Just keep the bat in your hands first. 0-1. 0-2. Wow. 0-2 the count to Perez. Fly ball into foul territory. That's going to get out of play. Do it again at 0-2. Is that an error or a bait, or what did you have on that last play, Bruce? Okay, so. Oof, that's tough. They're like, the rule is that the umpire ruled that Salima had the ball trapped between his legs, and that doesn't count as securing the baseball in that regard. Outside corner, strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Hartley gets out of it. An eventful inning, to say the least. And we go to the 6th, 6-4. Again, after a very eventful inning that sees the Knights score no runs on no hits with 1 error and 2 left, we go to the top of the 6th, and the Blue Sox, well, they elected to send Dushney on that double by Walsh in the top of the 5th with 2 outs, and he ended up getting thrown out by a country mile. Oh, I saw 1 and 2. Bruce pointing out that initially Rick did have the go signal, but then tried to switch to stop, but it was too late, and the Blue Sox don't end up paying for it in the bottom of the 5th. The lead is still 6-4 for the Blue Sox, but hey, again, worst case scenario, you have the leadoff man beginning this top of the 6th. You still look for some insurance. Pop up over towards the Knights dugout, and it's going to drop, and we'll do it again at 2-2. Things don't go your way. Dust it off and find another avenue. Two. Down and in, full count. As I was, like I was trying to say in the bottom of the 5th, if one thing is going to be the Blue Sox undoing in the postseason, it is the challenges they have had lately with putting away batters with 2 strikes and getting clean innings. Fly ball into right center is caught for out number 1. And McElroy is now 2 for 4 after a single and run scored, a pop up to first, a double and a run scored, and then fly out to center. 1 up, 1 down for Jimenez, who is 1 for 3 with a RBI double and a run scored. And Jimenez takes ball 1. It's 1 for 2 against the Knights starter Tarlin, but DeJesus into his 3rd inning of work now. Grounder foul. The count will be 1-1. It's been Wannett, Deschanel, and Hartley for the Blue Sox, and Tarlin and DeJesus for the Knights. 1-2. There is further action in the Blue Sox bullpen. That's a base hit into left field, and Jimenez is 2 for 4. Fundamentally sound, clean single in the left field there. Matt Draper right now in the bullpen for the Blue Sox. Here's Gabarty. 1 for 3. Struck out his first 2 times. Single last time. Hits this one in the left center field gap, and that is off the base of the wall, and that will. It's a home run. I looked like it on the top of the fence. There you go. Well, the perils of being at field level at this position, but a home run for Dom Gabarty. There's your insurance runs. It is 8-4. Saw that bounce Dom's first of the season and the 12th home run of the season for the Blue Sox as a team. Unlike tonight, you've seen a bunch of balls go into the gap. Similar power and trajectory. They've all been doubles or triples. That one just nicked off the top of the fence and into the softball field. 0-2 is the count to Nick Anderson. 2 for 3 with 1 for 2 with a walk, a triple, and a run scored. That is low for a ball, 1-2. Blue Sox out to their largest lead of the night now. 4 runs, 8-4 is the score. Huge home run there for the Blue Sox. Remember, as that swung on a miss for strike 3. Anderson down on strikes. A win here tonight locks up the number 1 seed in the ICL playoffs for the Blue Sox. Don't want to leave anything to chance against the Americans on Sunday. Salima will bat for the first time. Up and away for ball 1. In the bottom of the 6th, the Knights will send the heart of the order, 3, 4, and 5, Ramos, Rojas, and Carter to the plate. Salima, right size, wrong shape, out in front of that one, and it is 1-1. Lisco started the game at first base. He went 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Acosta pinch hit for Lisco in the 5th. Walked on 4 pitches and scored run number 6 for the Blue Sox tonight. And now it's Salima at 1-1 in his first plate appearance of the evening. Flares this one into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. From Salima? I don't think so. Two-out base hit keeps the inning alive for Charlie Walsh. And for Salima, that is his 3rd hit of the season in 19 at-bats. And his first since July 2nd against Malden. So runner at first and 2 down for Charlie Walsh. And look what I found, says Brian DeJesus, flips it to the first baseman for the out. That retires the side. The Blue Sox pick up 2 more runs on 3 more hits. Dom Gabardi with the home run, the 12th for the Blue Sox this year, his first of the season. And the Blue Sox doubling up on the Knights, 8-4 after 5.5. Matt Draper will take over on the mound for the Blue Sox as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Draper making his 9th appearance of the season, 6-1 with 1 save and a .793 ERA. In 35 1/3 innings, he's allowed 22 hits, 7 runs, 4 of which are earned, walked 8 and struck out 42, hit 2 batters, and thrown 1 wild pitch. Now, assuming this game doesn't go into extras, this would end up being Draper's shortest outing of the season. Hadn't put in less than 4 in any of his first 7 appearances. Had the 3 innings save in the round of ADSL on July 23rd. His last appearance. Appearance before that was the loss against the Andre Chiefs in the game that actually did start and finish the day on the same day. 4 1/3 innings, allowing 1 run on 1 hit with 3 walks and 1 strikeout. 1-0 is the count to Emmanuel Ramos, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout. Ramos pops this one up into shallow right, and Dylan's got it. Out number 1. Third different pitcher now that Ramos has faced. Picked up both of those hits off of Wanted, but then struck out against Deschanel. 1 up, 1 down for Raymond Rojas. 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch, a ground out to second, a double, and a run scored. That's in there for strike 1. Knights have only gotten the leadoff man on in 1 inning tonight, and that was the 3rd, when Carter reached on the error by Jimenez. Swing and a miss for strike 2 to Rojas. Two strikes issue I've touched on. Again, also the inability to, regularly finish clean innings. When you get the first 2 batters out, it might also be a problem come postseason time for the Blue Sox, but no problem there. Dealing with Raymond Rojas, a called strike 3, makes it 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Because tonight the Blue Sox have gotten the first 2 batters in now 4 out of 6 innings, including this one. So that misses for ball 1, but they've yet to log a 1-2-3 inning tonight. Carter ahead in the count 1-0. Bottom third of the order due up for the Blue Sox in the top of the 7th. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Auger, Dushney, and Dylan Walsh. I'm sure the Angels would love to have someone worthy of the 27 jersey. After Mike Trout. Calling him Trout because Tim Carr wears 27. Mike Trout is going to miss the rest of the season again. And both he and Griffey, 2 of baseball's biggest what ifs. Mike Trout has played 1 game after the All-Star break. In, the last 3 seasons now? So it's 3-2. Since 2021, Anthony Volpe has played more games than Mike Trout. Anthony Volpe made his Major League debut in 2023. Fouled off, will do it again. I admire Trout's loyalty to the Angels franchise, but loyalty is a two-way street, right? Carter draws a walk to keep the inning alive, and once again, the Blue Sox unable to get a 1-2-3 inning tonight. Here's Wallace. At least 2 batters have reached base in every inning so far for the Knights, as that swung on a miss by Wallace 0-1. He is 1 for 3 with a single. Struck out his last time. But in those 4 innings, I'll rephrase that in a moment. Here's a fly ball to center field, and Anderson's got it for the 3rd out. That retires the side. Nothing comes to the 2-out walk, and we are through 6, 8-4 Blue Sox, 3 defensive outs away from the number 1 seed. So before that inning, in the 3 innings prior to that, that the Blue Sox had retired the first 2 in the inning, the Knights ended up getting 2 runners on after that. There's just a lot of undue stress on the pitchers as the innings continue. Yes, sir. Okay. Yep, that's it. All right, no other defensive changes? Thank you. New pitcher for the East Boston Knights is going to be the left-hander Jake Normile. Normile, workhorse. He's pitching in his 15th game of the season. 2-2 and a 4.20 ERA. Nice. In 25 innings, he's allowed 25 hits, 20 runs, 15 which are earned. Walked 15, struck out 18, hit 4 batters, and thrown 6 wild pitches. Turned in his 2nd longest outing of the season last time out against the McKay Club Beacons on the 30th. Took the loss. Went 3 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 2, and struck out 2. His longest outing of the season was against the Lexington Bulldogs on July 11th. Got the win in 4 innings, allowing 2 hits, 2 earned runs, walking 3, and not striking out a soul. This is the 15th appearance again for Normile out of now 28 games for East Boston this season. Auger, Dushney, and Walsh due up here in the top of the 7th for the Blue Sox. 3 defensive outs away from clinching the number 1 seed. Worth noting that Sunday's game against the Americans doesn't mean anything for the Americans in terms of playoff seeding. They're locked into the 3. They will face the 2 seed, whether it's the Blue Sox or the Chiefs in the semifinals. As Auger hits a towering pop-up in the center, and it's caught. 1 pitch, 1 out. And now Auger is 1 for 4 on the night. Here is Dushney. 0 for 2 with a fly out to right and a ground out to third. Was hit by a pitch his last time, then thrown out at the plate. Initially did get the green light to come home on that double by Walsh, but no pitch there as Dusty not getting ready for the at-bat. And now he swings, hits this one into left, backpedaling the left fielder. Doesn't have it, off the base of the wall. Dusha to second with a double. So Dushney with his first hit of the ball game. He's now 1 for 3. I believe so, yeah. I believe that's Dusha's first extra base hit. I'll check that right now. Almost certain. Oh, wrong tab. Yep, first extra base hit of the season for Max. Yeah, exactly. Outside for ball 1 to Dylan Walsh. Not like his on-base percentage was hurting, though, this season. I know, right? 15 walks. And a hit by pitch. And now a second hit by pitch this season, so he's still on a 500 OBP clip now. Dylan watches that one go high. The count is 2-1. Grounder to the right side. This will get Dush over to third. And it'll bring him home, in fact, as another error on the Knights makes it 9-4. Well, I was going to say, let's see if Walsh can trade places with Dushney. I mean, technically he did. (9-4) is the score, and the lineup turns over. McElroy takes high, ball 1. Jake, 2 for 4. Single, a double, a couple runs. It's not 91-4, don't you worry. 1-1. One and two. Dush's 15 walks, alas, not close to the league lead. Sean Nestor of the Melrose Americans has drawn 23 this season. Teddy Juba of the Chiefs with 20. This could be a foul ball. Close to the line, but not many protests from the Blue Sox. I think if this were a closer game, they might have wanted to at least a chat. Can't exactly bring in VAR or anything. But Dush's on-base percentage of .500 is tied for 6th in the league. Sam Browning of the Malden Mad Dogs, .615. The number 1 and number 4 best OBPs in the league, though, won't be in the postseason. Browning and Mike Siebert of the Lexington Bulldogs. Ground to the left side. That's through for a base hit. Rick DeAngelis puts up the stop sign at third, and it'll be runners at the corners. Three-hit ball game for Jake McElroy. And we'll see if Jimenez can join him in that department here. Single and a double and 2 runs of his own coming into this AB. 2 for 4. Fouls this one off for strike 1. One and one is the count to Jimenez. Blue Sox extending their lead with that error at second base, bringing home Dushney after his one-out double. And now runners at the corners for Jimenez. In the dirt, 2-1. Jimenez says nobody go. Jimenez into the left center field gap. That'll get down for a base hit. Extra bases again for AJ. It looks that way. McElroy into third. Jimenez, couple of doubles, couple of RBI doubles, in fact. Walsh scores, McElroy to third. 10-4, good buddy. Second and third now for Gabarty with one down. And Gabarty granted time. Swing and a miss. Popped up on the infield, and it drops. Everybody's safe. No advance by the 2 runners already on base. The bases are loaded with one down for Nick Anderson. Anderson with a triple, a walk, and a strikeout to his name so far. And a ground out. Speaking of a ground ball, here's one to short. Underhand to second for one. On to first, not in time. In the back door to score is McElroy. Jimenez to third. Gabarty is out 6-4. Anderson reaches on the fielder's choice, but does pick up the ribby. 2 down. Runners at the corners. And Salima takes a high, ball 1. 11-4 is our score. Foul on the screen, the count will be 1-1. In the bottom of the 7th will be the bottom third due up for the Knights of their batting order as Salima picks up a base hit and an RBI. Jimenez scores. Anderson up to second. And we're going to have a conference at the mound. 12-4 our score. Salima 2 for 2, picks up the ribby. it'll be Charlie Walsh's turn at bat. Walsh, a single in the first, reached on error and scored in the third, laid down a sac bunt that generated an error that brought home a run, and now he's got another hit into right field and then misplayed in right field. Anderson will score. Into third goes Salima. Thirteen to 4. And we have batted around for the first time. 13 to 4 ball game. We're only batting around in the 7th now. As Auger, who led this inning off with a fly out to center, takes ball 1. 5th at bat of the night for Joe. Auger with a single, a strikeout, and 2 flyouts to center on his line tonight. There's a strike, 2-1. Now, even though there is a mercy rule in these interleague games, at this point, with it already being the 7th inning, the Blue Sox being the road team, it is moot. And it's fouled off for strike 2. A word that I find myself saying a lot lately. High for a ball, full count. With Dushny due up next. Fouled off, we'll do it again, 3-2. About to hit the 2.5-hour mark of this ball game. This will get into right field and down for another base hit. Fourteen to 4 is Auger is now 2 for 5. And it looks like we are going to have a pitching change. I wonder if we're going to be up against lights out. So just going to be, not going to be too complicated. I got the DH is going to pitch. That's going to be Garrett Wallace and Garrett Wallace is going to pitch. Again, we're pushing up against lights out here, but got Wallace pitching. Yep, got it. So I have Wallace's pitching stats for you. Can we? Well, Wallace is going to be making his 5th pitching appearance of the season. Actually pitched yesterday against the Brighton Black Sox, went a third of an inning, did not allow a hit, run, or walk, nor did he strike out a batter. He's 0-2 this season with an 11.30 ERA. In 8 2/3 innings, allowed 12 hits, 19 runs, 14 which are earned, walked 17, and struck out 5, hit 2 batters, and thrown 2 wild pitches. All right. So, after all that, we're going to have a pinch hitter for Dushney. That's down low. Jack Beauchene? Okay. So, Jack Beauchene is hitting for Max Dushney here. Lights are going to go off in 10 minutes, so... Oh, my goodness! Pitcher's a rake. Into center field. RBI single for Jack Beauchene. 15-4. Lights are going on and going out in 10 minutes, folks, so... Could end up that this entire inning will actually not have happened. That's how it would work, right? In effect, to the last completed inning. Yeah, so. There's a grounder to second, a grounder short rather, a flip to second for the out that retires the side as Walsh grounds to the fielder's choice. 6.5 of the books. Closing time for the Blue Sox.
Like the away, like we're the away team, and like.
I got out last week.
Yeah, it's Austin.
So Jack stays in as the pitcher
Yeah.
in that spot.
Okay. And then
Austin would go into
DH
the
slot.
DH spot.
Okay, gotcha.
That's how we're going to play. There is a rule, and I'm going to have to look this up to
Yeah.
verify. Dude, if something happens in the league that doesn't affect the outcome, we were already ahead,
Yeah.
so I think the top will count.
Okay.
But I need to verify.
Okay, that fair enough. All right. Yeah. But like you know, if this were a one-run game and the lights went out.
If we had taken the lead, say we were trailing or it was tied, and we took the lead in the top half,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get the bottom half, then what we did would not count, and it would
Revert.
back.
And then it would be a Knights win, essentially.
If they were leading,
Yeah, they were leading,
the
but
game was tied.
all right.
So, but because we already had the lead,
Yeah.
all we did was add to it.
Yeah.
Because it got, the main reason I remember this is a guy in the case league lost the no hitter. He gave up the hit in the top of the inning, and like nobody else. And it was like in the 6th, the fog came in, and seeing that calls, it was a game because it was 5-5, and he loses the no-hit.
Who wants to throw a 5-inning no-hitter anyways? Yeah, a win is a win is a win.
Bottom of the 7th, Jack Beauchene stays in the game and stays in the batting order after picking up an RBI single as a new pitcher. And Austin Travis is behind the plate, and that is swung on and missed. And the count is now 1-1 to the left fielder, Andrew Hisiano. 1-2 to Andrew, who is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored in the 2nd. Reach on a fielder's choice that brought home a run in the 3rd and then popped up to skew to short in the 5th. Still 1-2. Lights go out in 6 minutes. We give you that example of, I don't know if you heard Bruce talking about an example of, would this inning, how would it only a half inning count if the visiting team is leading in this situation? But speaking of no-hitters, Blake Snell has just no-hit the Cincinnati Reds, not just for his first career no-hitter, but his first career complete game. And a swing and a miss for out number 1. Beauchene gets Hisiano. And now here is Kilroy. Base hit. Reach on fielder's choice and struck out to this point. Kilroy takes strike 1. 0-1. Beauchene, third pitching appearance of the season, is 2-0 in routes over 80 SL on the base. 2 wins the span of 3 days. I call that efficient. 1-2 is the count. 3 strikeouts in 2 innings of work. Now 4-2 and a third. And a swing and a miss. Travis picks up the ball. Fires down to first. 2 down. Andale Avanti. 1 more out to get for the Blue Sox in 4 minutes. Can't stick around too much for the post game because darkness. But as we wrap things up here, we'll thank you folks for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network, as Silas is ahead 1-0. Don't forget to subscribe to this here YouTube channel and follow and support the Blue Sox and the Intercity League all season long on intercityleaguebaseball.com and on the Burb, the Book, and the Graham. And we'll see you folks Sunday night, 7:30 p.m., first pitch for the Lexington Blue Sox in the regular season finale against the Melrose Americans at Morelli Field, and then postseason baseball once again. We're going to see if we can live stream the Expos versus Sabres wild card game. No guarantees yet, but if that game is streamed, that's going to be on my channel, LSP. You can go over to youtube.com at LSP37 to check out that game if we do end up streaming it, but stay tuned for updates on that one. And it's downstairs for ball 3, 3-2, but the Blue Sox offense, it was tightly contested, for a while, 6-4 after, maybe 5-4 after 4, but then 9 runs over the course of the final 2 innings to put this one to bed, and a foul ball. And wrap up the number 1 seed in the Intercity League playoffs. So Sunday's game, Sunday's game is actually moot as far as the ICL is concerned. pop up. That's behind me. But with there are postseason eligibility requirements. I'm sure the Americans and the Blue Sox will try to get some guys, a little more game action to make sure that, they have guys to call upon in case stuff happens during the postseason, or just to get some guys some work who haven't been able to get as much as maybe they would have. And I guess we're just gonna call that a strikeout. All right, fair enough. All right, well, that'll do it. 15-4 is your final. For all my righty friends here at LHS, my name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you Sunday night, 7:30, first pitch, Blue Sox, Americans. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin.